Hello and welcome to this video, which is part of Student Mind's Library of Learning. This webinar will take you through the Learn domain of the University Mental Health Charter. My name is Dr. Rebecca Upshur and I'm a lecturer at King's College London. I'm also a University Mental Health Charter Award panel member, help ratifying decisions made by the assessor team. I teach mainly undergraduate psychology students, and my main area of research interest is improving student wellbeing and learning through the curriculum, pedagogy and assessment. The Learn domain is one of the 4 domains of the whole university approach to supporting student wellbeing. There are 3 components of the Learn domain which I will walk you through. These include transition into university, learning, teaching and assessment, and progression. Let's start with transition into university. Just to give you an idea of the scope of this component, transition into university covers a few things. So we have the pre-application, communication and outreach activities, pre-entry support and preparing students for university, thinking about the recruitment and admin processes, that induction or orientation into university, and the first year. So that can be undergraduate students or the first year of postgraduate students, or even direct entrance to other years. So why is this component important? Let me tell you a little bit about what the literature is saying. So starting university is a big transition. It's a time of opportunity, but also challenge. While many students find this exciting, others experience stress, anxiety, and even a drop in self-esteem. Poor transition experiences can lead to isolation and disengagement, affecting both well-being and academic performance. The good news is when universities provide the right support through pre-entry preparation, through structured inductions and ongoing academic guidance, students are more likely to feel a sense of belonging, build that confidence and persist in their studies. Traditionally, the focus has been on how well students adapt, but research tells us that universities must also adapt to their students. They must create an inclusive, supportive environment that helps everyone succeed. So a well-supported transition is essential. Here are the University Mental Health Charter's principles of good practice for this subdomain. To summarise, ensuring a smooth transition to university isn't just about the first few weeks. It's a long-term process that needs to be embedded across the student journey. Support doesn't start on just day 1, it begins before students even apply and continues throughout the first year. Good practice here focuses on a few key areas. So we have the well-being and self-efficacy, helping students feel confident and capable. We have academic integration, so ensuring students understand expectations and feel prepared for learning. We have to think about social connectedness, supporting friendships, community and a sense of belonging, and also targeted support, so recognising that some students face extra barriers and we need to provide tailored interventions to support these students. So universities need to think about being proactive, constantly assessing and improving their own systems to remove unnecessary barriers. By designing environments that are inclusive and accessible, universities can help every student transition more successfully. Now let's look at learning, teaching and assessment component. This component of the Learn domain not only covers curriculum, pedagogy and assessment, but also considers support for learning, inclusivity and the role of academic staff in supporting student wellbeing. And staff here not only includes those directly involved in teaching and learning, but also those who supervise student projects, personal tutors, perhaps PhD students who support teaching, and also learning support staff. So what do we know about this subdomain? We know that university and the curriculum is the heart of university life. The curriculum is that guaranteed contact point between students and the university, especially so for perhaps remote students or even on-campus students who don't like university accommodation or those who don't engage with extracurricular activities. If we think about designing, delivering and assessing students, these are key opportunities to enhance student well-being and learning at the same time, and often this equates to good pedagogy. Evidence says that learning and well-being exist in a transactional relationship with one another. Low well-being can lead to poor academic performance. Those who are less engaged socially or feeling lonely can underperform, and the way that we engage with learning can also influence well-being positively or negatively. If we think about students from underrepresented backgrounds, they may face additional barriers when learning environment feels unwelcoming or lacks support structures. So we need to think about inclusive teaching and assessment strategies that can improve both learning and well-being outcomes. The quality of academic challenge also matters. Learning should be engaging and stretching, but students must have the tools and the support they need to succeed. Poorly designed assessments, unclear expectations, and lack of scaffolding create unnecessary barriers. Finally, academic staff play a frontline role in supporting students. Yet many feel unprepared for this responsibility. So universities must provide clear guidance, training and resources to help staff create that supportive learning environment. In short, good curriculum design isn't just about grades, it's about ensuring students thrive academically, socially and emotionally. Here are the principles of good practice for this component. So this can be broken down into a few things. Universities need to be thinking about the inclusive and structured learning, a well-designed curriculum that supports all students, providing scaffolding to build confidence, skills and self-efficacy. We need to think about balanced learning pace, so the curriculum must be challenging but manageable, ensuring students acquire knowledge at a sustainable and supportive pace. If we think about deep learning over surface learning, teaching should encourage curiosity, mastery and meaning, rather than just focusing on grades and memorising content. Universities also should proactively design assessments, workload and teaching practices that support rather than harm student well-being. Staff need some clarity on their role in student support whilst maintaining appropriate boundaries, signposting students to get help from other places. All teaching and learning staff should understand how pedagogic practices impact student mental health and be equipped to support students effectively. The idea here, when these principles are embedded, is that students will be more engaged, confident and better able to thrive, both academically and personally. And the final component of the learn domain is progression. So progression covers a number of things. We can think about it in terms of progressing from each academic year to the next, or between academic levels. It can be progression to time out on placement and coming back in. It can be progressing through breaks in study, but also progression and transition into life beyond university. Thinking about the literature in this subdomain, we often focus on the transition into university, but student life is actually a series of transitions from year to year, onto placements and eventually into life beyond university. Research shows that mental health can decline after the first year, yet much of the support is front-loaded at the start of university. Second year students, for example, face increased academic pressure, often move out of halls and may feel they're expected to be fully independent, sometimes misinterpreting this as a lack of available support. Placements introduce additional challenges, particularly in high-stakes professions like healthcare, where students may encounter further difficulties and experiences. Without preparation and structured support, these transitions can negatively impact well-being. Similarly, students who take time out due to illness or other personal reasons benefit from ongoing contact and reintegration support when they return. The final year can also bring intense stress. We have that academic workload, job uncertainty, financial pressures, and loss of structure as graduation approaches. Many students describe this as an identity shift, and research highlights the need for structured outduction, supporting students through the transition out of university, just as we do when they arrive. To ensure students thrive and succeed academically and emotionally, universities must take a proactive approach to these transitions. This means structured reinductions, clear scaffolding at each stage, and support that extends beyond graduation, helping students feel prepared, resilient, and ready for what comes next. Here are the principles of good practice for this subdomain. So university is not just a single transition, it's a series of ongoing shifts. To support students effectively, universities need to embed structured, proactive support throughout the student journey. Students must be prepared for transitions between academic years and levels. Moving from one stage to the next comes with new expectations. For example, more independent learning, different assessment styles, and changing support structures. Universities should ensure that students are reorientated and equipped with the skills and knowledge needed to progress successfully. For students on placements and professional programs, transitions can be particularly demanding. Whether it's working in healthcare, education, or industry, placements introduce new pressures. They have exposure to real-world challenges, professional responsibilities, and increased workload. So universities must think carefully about providing targeted preparation and ongoing support to help students manage these demands and maintain their well-being. Some students will experience unexpected transitions, such as taking time out due to personal circumstances or health issues. Returning to study after a break can be daunting, especially if students feel disconnected from their course or peers. Universities should provide ongoing contact between students during that break and structured re-entry support to help students reintegrate smoothly. As students approach graduation, they enter potentially one of the biggest transitions of all, moving into work or further study or new life circumstances. The end of university can bring uncertainty and stress as well as that loss of structure. So universities should actively support students to prepare for this challenge, ensuring that they leave with the skills, confidence, and clarity needed for the next steps. These transitions shouldn't be left to chance. It must be structurally embedded into the curriculum and wider university practice, ensuring that students at every stage receive the preparation, guidance, and resources they need to navigate change successfully. Thank you for listening.